What's up, fellow business partners? Just kidding.
Yeah.
I know it's always us, so maybe one day we'll have
Yay.
some extra features from other people and some GWiz information from them. So, without further ado, I want to jump into some slides and I'll just start rambling away with all the information. So, well, as always, stop me if you have questions or comments or whatever. So let me make sure I get this one right here.
I'm digging the gold fitness realty shirt, by the way.
Right? Thank you. I
The gold on
love the
black.
gold one. It's so good, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. So obviously, welcome. It's always us three, or most of the time. So Zach bailed tonight. He had something that he had to do. And then I did let everybody else know. I had a couple people say maybes, but and then I think Isaac works tonight. So anyway, okay. So let's start off. Obviously, it's July 12th, and we pushed it back 1 week so that we could hopefully have more participation and whatever. Anyway, so first item of business is the personal ownership side. So the three people that are here, obviously we know we're crushing it together and collectively. We know what our agenda is, and we're the ones that are working it all the time, thinking about it, talking about it, pushing the business, right? We're pushing it into the new realms and stuff like that. So the personal ownership for the people in here, awesome. I really want to applaud each of you, of course. And then for people that watch this as a recording, I want you to kind of think about your personal ownership and see what you're bringing to the table for the company. And if it was just capital, no problem. Thank you so much. We'll always take your capital. But if you want to be more involved and help your capital grow faster, this is some of the responsibilities that I really want to kind of bring to the front of everyone's mind. And it is our social media presence and kind of the swag. And so we're always talking about swag. We're always talking about the logo and the brand. But I want to talk about a little story that happened today. So I happen to be inside the model home, or now not the model home, but our HOA's, whatever you call that, meeting, the clubhouse. There we go. So I was in
That's
the
it.
clubhouse where the sales agents are, and that's where the sales agents moved to for my community. I went in there and I walked in and I had this gold Fitness Realty shirt on, which it just kind of stands out. It's pretty bright, pretty loud. And one of the sales agents was like, "Hey, I just was chatting with your broker," and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm the broker, and I wasn't just talking to you, but okay." And he was like, "No, it was a lady," and I was like, "Oh, you must mean my mom." I said, "She's the owner," and so this guy was talking to you, mom, and he was like, "Yeah, I know your logo. I've seen your car. I've seen the logo, hundreds of times. Like, it's getting out there." So I really want to just
Excellent.
make sure that everybody knows that wearing the logo around, I think, is one of the most crucial pieces to this puzzle. And as we kind of grow outside of Utah, eventually, that'll make more sense for outside influence. But the social media presence is huge, and I'm gonna bring up some slides and stuff, or not slides, but raw data on how our social media is doing, so that everybody can see that, and the way that we're pumping it out there. And honestly, the more people mention Fitness Realty, or they share something from our page, or they like one of our pictures or whatever, the more of these like back and forth links happen, and then our authority goes up on Google, which is enormous, right? And right now we have really high authority for Fitness Realty, the title. We don't have as high of authority on like words as real estate or Utah realtors or stuff like that, right? So we need more people talking about it and writing it in their sphere, or sharing our podcast, which does a lot of the speaking for you, which I'll bring up here in the near future. So, just wanted to touch on personal ownership. I know you guys are all doing it right here that are here, but for everybody that's watching it on a recording, just want to take the moment to try to internalize and say, okay, if I'm just capital, no problem. If I want to make this company grow faster, I want to share their links, share their podcasts, share the YouTube channel. If you see me posting something, like share that and get it out there on your networks. All right, up next is the swag store. So we have two swag stores. One kind of has some older stuff, so we're going to keep that one until we completely just don't want to do that anymore, or whenever this new site has all of the things that are from the old one on it, then we'll just mosey over to the new one. So I'm going to show you really quick. Let's see if I can present this other link really fast. I'm going to show you this might just be easier to do this window, sorry. Okay, does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So this is the new swag store. It's called Spring. Spring allows us the capabilities to set prices and kind of manipulate the way that the swag store operates. Plus, they are super easy to manipulate the products. So I literally got on and loaded like 8 more products just in the last like hour. So I added these like racerbacks, these cups, some stickers, sports bra, bucket hat. Like I just tried to pick things on there that I could do really, really quickly. And the thing that's nice about Spring is it's super fast, and then I've set all these prices to be very, very minimal profit because I'm like, we don't need any profit. We need people to buy the swag, right? So I've cranked them down almost as far as possible without it turning red, because they won't let you do it red. I don't know why they'd do that. You know, that would be negative profit. So anyway,
I really like the awesome cups and the sweet shirt.
I know, right? And that's the
I
nice
know,
thing.
right?
I get to set a lot of that. And the cool part is, like, if you guys see stuff in there and you want new items or you have feedback on it, I can run in and like change stuff really fast. And then the other cool part is, like, let's say the mugs. There's like 16 different colors of mugs, so you could literally have whatever you want, right? So these guys give us a lot of flexibility on providing our swag to our people. Somebody just bought 3 shirts or something like that, I think, off of this new site. So I'm interested to see what they look like. It might have been Zach, but I don't know if it was him that bought them. I'm just interested in quality because I haven't bought anything from here yet. I'll probably do a bunch right before the state fair, so we have a ton to give out, but we just haven't done it yet. Okay, so that's the swag store. I'm going to close that. All right, share price structure. You guys already know that. I'm not going to go over the real price spreadsheet. So as you guys all know, this is the real price spreadsheet right now. I do have a friend of mine that we may rebuild this to look really sexy like, but as of right now, it just is the standard common look. And then I do have a couple more investors that may come in, and then Isaac may be bringing us some more cash to do some more shares. So the door's wide open if you guys want to do that. I was hoping that we would close on a multifamily deal or whatever before we did any more sales in the shares, but it might not work out that way, so that's fine. So right now we're just kind of plugging away. And then the thoughts on that, as of last time when we had the emergency meeting and it was like all hell's breaking loose and we were thinking we were going to do the SEC filing and things, we've kind of backpedaled from that. We're still in the gray area of needing an SEC filing. We're on the small end and we didn't do very many shares. So we didn't hit a lot of the criteria that makes it so you have to file. And so right now we're still just kind of humdinging along like normal. In the future, if we continue to grow and we just grow really rapidly with share count, then there's a possibility that we'll get pinged. And hopefully by then we just have the capital to do a launch the normal way or like an IPO or something. So right now we're good and we're looking strong. And there's plenty of capital to do whatever we need to right now. All right, real quick, let's go to Media Link. So this is all of the cool data from Metricool. So the media company that we hired is called Taylor Green Media. Taylor Green Media is Will and Mike and a bunch of their employees. But they put together this media group, but they use this Metricool as like their analysts or analytics side. And so I just wanted to quickly show you guys that on Facebook we're growing. On Instagram, I think we're kind of stagnant if I don't remember right. So let's take a peek at it. Well, we're in decline, I guess. So we're from like 5,050 followers to like 5,032. That's not a huge difference. But I feel like Instagram's kind of going down anyways. So we're not pumping out a lot of content on Instagram. Like I'm not actively on there all the time. The only content Instagram now gets from me or from anything from the company is what Taylor Green Media pumps out there. So they do 1 or 2 short posts every week. And that's not a lot of posting. So right now we're probably declining on there. And that's, in my opinion, that's fine because I believe Facebook and Instagram are kind of, they're dying, they're slowly dying. And so if we're not pumping out a lot of content on there, that's okay. Let's move to TikTok. So you can kind of see on TikTok, we're riding this wave most of the time. Our interactions are kind of going down. I have tons of, I do tons of content on TikTok right now, and we'll have anywhere from about maybe 79 views to 236. Sometimes we get a lot more than that, so it just depends. I did a live TikTok video that was just fireworks, and there was at one point 129 people watching it at the same time, which was pretty cool. So we're getting a lot of traction on there, and this is the whole realm. Like if you're a TikTok person, then jump on TikTok, follow us, and then when you see stuff, like share, repost, like it, of course. If you're a Facebook person, like we're not going to let Facebook die because we've gotten a ton of exposure from Facebook. Plus, a lot of those like backward links that I was talking about and the authority comes from Facebook because Facebook says, hey, Fitness Realty has authority on this page and there's tons of people viewing it, and Google will pick that up, and so our authority on Google will go up even higher. So I'm not saying that we're going to let it die, but I just don't actively post there on the business page as often as I was. Our Google My Business page, you can see we're kind of trending down in a couple of these. A lot of these are kind of, they're manipulated differently because when we're pumping ad traffic to our My Google Business site, it kind of inflates it. And so those are paid ads and paid views, but they all still count as regular views. So some of these are inflated, and then as we tweak our spend on Google Ads, which I'll go over, it kind of brings the inflation back down. But you can see, like on Google Maps, we're getting viewed so many times. Like this is from June 12th to June 7th, almost 12,000 times. So we're getting seen a boatload, which is awesome. But we're not converting some of that traffic, which is not awesome, right? And we're on a warpath to tweak a lot of that right now. This isn't a great place to see the YouTube stats, so I'm going to skip that, and then I'm going to skip the Google Ads one because we're just going to go straight to the source. All right, so that was the Metricool raw data. Now I want to show the landing page because we do have the brand new landing page up, but I want everybody to go to their phone or another web page or something that you can manipulate right now. Mom, I don't know if you can do any of this because your internet's down. But Brandon, while you're here, just do fitnessrealty.com with or without the www to see if it brings up this page right here.
Yep. I was already checking it out.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. So I'm trying to run a lot of tests. On my computer, for whatever reason, it still pulls up the old Fitness Realty page sometimes. And it has to deal with all the cache stuff. So I may just do a full bore wipe on my computer to start it fresh, which might set me back a week of figuring out all the settings. So don't just wish me good luck on that one. Anyway, the page is live. The page is getting a really good response from a lot of people. We do have our team page on there, our team bios and stuff. We're trying to get them all redone. So you can kind of see this. We do have people's bios on. The people that are leaving, that are like going inactive and stuff, I need to take them down. So there is a lot of tweaking that I need to get finished on here. Um, and one day I'll get around to that. But right now, the team page looks pretty professional. And then hopefully everybody's bios will get fixed. And the nice thing is if people use Travis, my neighbor, to write their bio like my mom did, then there's a lot of keywords that Travis puts in there because he's a really strong SEO genius. And so like you can see all these things that my mom's bio has in that are like keywords, right? Utah's in there a bunch of times, buy, sell, real estate's in there, community. So it really kind of pops. Plus, that helps boost our authority on Google because it has all these keywords that people are looking for. And so one day we'll get everybody's bio fixed. Anyway, on the contact us page, or as people try to leave our page, it brings up this get in contact with an amazing realtor. If people use that, it goes straight to what's up? Welcome, whoever you are on the phone.
It's Dustin.
Oh, what is up, Dustin? Welcome.
What's up?
Nada. So if people come to the website and then they try to leave and they scroll outside of the box, it brings up this little pop-up and then it says they can get in contact. So that contact page goes into the CRM that Taylor Green Media gave us. And so if anyone does that, which rarely happens because normally they go and shop our team page, but if they do, then that lead goes into the CRM that I'm pumping out, and then they get all the emails and texts that I do in their drip campaign. So anyway, the website is almost done, almost like virtually good. There's not a lot of tweaking that I want to do on it other than the bios. One day we may drop this blog off because a lot of people have kind of gone away from blogging just in general on their business site. That will kind of lose some of our authority, but we'll gain the authority back when everybody's bios are up to date and looking better. So it's not a loss. It's not a huge loss if we drop the blog because there are so many other places that we're posting things that our authority will stay pretty strong. Plus, I really haven't updated the blog in a long time because we moved on to Instagram at one point and then on to TikTok and now the podcast. So any questions about that?
No questions at the moment. Just a couple quick comments.
Okay.
Not that it's a big deal at all, but if anybody was looking through it and actually questioning, the current copyright is 2021 down the bottom. I look at that sometimes to see if it's to actually look if the site has been updated, kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Lends to credibility for the site itself. So, and that should, if anything, that should be a really easy fix.
Yeah, let me see because I might be able to just fix it on the spot right now.
Sounds good.
While you're seeing this is the CRM they give us, which is awesome and very robust. And when I use the word give, I mean they charge us $200.
A month?
Yeah, a month.
Oh. If that's all inclusive, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. Like, I've paid $90 a month for like top producer, and that thing was terrible. And then close was like $55 a month, or maybe $47 a month, something like that. And
I'm done.
right, booyah. So when close was $47, like this one's quite a bit more than that, but so robust. So I mean, we got let's see, hold on, let me make sure I save that properly.
And real quick, so is that just for the site creation, or is that including all the analytics behind it as well?
Yep. Well, it's $1,500 for the media side and $200. So like we pay this company $1,700 a month to do podcast editing, short posts, long posts, the site, the portal, which I'll get to, and then the drip campaigns and stuff that are all in the CRM, which I'll show you. I'll show you really fast if you want to
Okay.
take a little ride with me.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound too bad because they're actively pushing the marketing side of the house. It's not just they're looking at our stuff and creating our website and maintaining the website. It's they're actively pushing things out, creating content, getting our no, that's okay.
Right.
I like it.
They're pretty good. I figure like where we're at right now, maybe we're overpaying just a hair. When we get lots larger, we're gonna be paying them very little in terms of like revenue, right? Let me just show you really fast. Like, let's see. Let's do new warm market. Oh, actually, really fast. Let me show you some stats on that. So my new warm market, I have 522 people loaded with 508 active, 14 that I think have been completed because that means they bounced or they told me to stop emailing them. And then 69 have replied. So I've got right now a 13.22% kind of click-through rate or read rate, which is pretty high. The one that I like is right here, these new Stringham peeps. So in our growth plan, I'll show you that when we get to it from out of the Goldman Sachs group. But we're marketing to the people that come out of Stringham now and more effectively. We've done it in the past, but then I kind of stopped. So now I've got 341 people loaded in there. 32 people responded back. So we're at kind of hovering just shy of 10%. And I set probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 appointments out of that with people that were investigating our company to see if they wanted to come on board. All of them were all brand new, so they have months before they can actually like get hired on. But it was really awesome to just make a strong connection with people. And all I send them is one text with our All About Fitness Realty, and had that many responses back and that many appointments set. So the more we can get that out there, the easier it'll get to kind of recruit.
Gotcha. So is this customer acquisition or is that all recruiting for new realtors?
So that's kind of both sides of the house. On my CRM, I do both clients and recruiting all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right. Any questions about the landing page?
Looking good. I like the color scheme.
Thank you, sir. They did a phenomenal
That's the
job.
original color scheme, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yep, like
Yeah.
the gray, orange, yeah. All right. Moving on. We've got Google Ads, so let's go to that really fast. So currently we're 12 days into the month. We've spent $378 in cost. We've gotten 9 phone calls, which is a little low for the amount of money spent. Typically, it's about $20 a call. Everybody's probably marketing really heavy, which makes it more competitive. So then the dollar amount per call just starts to skyrocket because the competition's heavy. But we are getting 114 clicks to the My Google Business page. I do have one ad that's in this new search trial. That's just called Fitness Realty Direct. We did get a ton of almost free advertising through that. I'm going to turn it back on probably starting in August just to see how it does. The one that's Fitness Realty Direct sends people straight to our website instead of the Google My Business page, which looks like this. So if you guys have ever been on Google, I'm sure you never have. Just kidding. If you've searched something like this, then this is what comes up right now for the My Business side.
Excellent.
So our ads, there are 4 versions. Like I said, I'll go back to the versions really quick. Home Mortgage sends people directly to our My Business side, but it has mortgage keywords and typically shows Michelle on our page. That just is how Google says they want to show it because that's the one that's clicked through the most. We do have the real estate specific one, which is the one that's pumped out on Google more frequently because those are the keywords that people are searching more often. And so I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. And then the vacation voucher is very, very small, almost never gets pumped out to people. and we'll probably just discontinue this one, and I'll light it up with the Fitness Realty Direct, which goes to our webpage, that landing page. And so people could start surfing us straight from that landing page to the team page. And then, like I said, when they try to leave the page, it brings that pop-up. And so hopefully people put in their info if they want to know more. So like I said, those 4 versions here, we have the real estate version. Like I said, it's pumped out the most. We've got the most clicks from that. The Fitness Realty one that I've stopped, I'll unload that one. We had 66 clicks in like, I don't know, a day. I only had it loaded for 1 day, and then it was super cheap. Like, we had 66 clicks for $40, which is impressive. And then the click-through rate is freakishly high. So we're going to unload this one probably in a week or 2, and I'll swap it with Vacation Voucher and just get rid of that one. Home mortgage, I have that one up for our lender partners, and I'll get onto that here in a second, but it just doesn't get as many clicks. I want to show you really fast before we move on from the ads of last month. So last month we did 770 and we did 37 phone calls. Those are the Jive Line phone calls to our realtors and lender partners. Almost 10,000 impressions, which is pretty high. Impressions to me don't mean anything. It's only the clicks and phone calls that mean something. Because people could look at us 150,000 times, but if they don't do anything, then it means nothing. We do get some like brand presence though with impressions, so it's not all a waste on that, but it's not the best. It's not the best ROI that we're looking for. Okay, let me change it back to this month so I don't forget. So currently we have 4 ad lender partners. We have Michelle Reed, we have Natalia Meyerhofer, Tennyson the Tank. I don't remember what his last name is. I just know as his Instagram handle. The dude's stacked. Just a great guy. And then we have Chuck, one of the new lenders that added on. And each one of those are paying a different value into the marketing. And then we have a little bit of a marketing ad that we're adding to that pool. So it's not just our lender partners paying for it. So if you total them all up, we're about 800 in lender partner addition, and we're about 400 in our own cost, which has made the Jive Line kind of hop, and my mom can attest to that. Brandon and Dustin, you guys don't get the Jive lead lines to your phone, but my mom will tell you that the lead line has been ringing quite frequently, and so our newer agents are loving that, and we're using that as a recruiting tool for agents that don't want to hunt for their own leads because they can just come to their phone. Let's see. Any questions about the Google Ads side?
I don't think so. This is it's the first I've seen of it, but that's so we actually only get charged based off the traffic we get through the Google Ads.
Yep.
So we get charged off of how well they're performing, which I really like a lot. It's not like a base payment where we have to pay out pay a buttload for no traffic whatsoever.
Right.
We pay based off the traffic they generate for us. That's a good business model. I like it.
Yep, exactly. And you kind of hit it right on the head. And the nice thing here is the Google side. I mean, honestly, I've set it up to be so easy that we may just make a sub company in Fitness Realty that is marketing, and I'll just bring companies on and I'll show them how to set it and forget it, and I'll just charge them $100 a month or something, because it's pretty easy to do. I mean, I could teach a business how to do it in an afternoon and set it up for them, and then they just say how much money they want to blow on there.
I like it.
All right. But you are correct. Google Ads is amazing, right? We're only paying for what's performing. There will be days where there's a lot of impressions and nothing happening, and we don't spend any money. Then there's days that the click-through rate is really high, and we spend a lot of money. So it just is what it is. We pay for the performance, like you said. Okay, moving on to the podcast. Let me make sure I close out some of these. Any questions on the Google My Business site at all? Okay.
No.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to the podcast. We're on episode 19 currently. If you haven't seen any of it, I would highly encourage you to watch it. excuse me, either jump onto Spotify, Apple Podcast, or a bunch of other ones. Let me show you really fast. So the way we upload the podcast is through Anchor. Anchor does all the, not editing, sorry. We get it all edited first from Taylor Green Media. Then they put it on Anchor. Anchor pumps it out to all of the other places that we want to send it. So I'll show you the public site really quick instead of the, whatever you call it, media consultant page. So here's just what the main Anchor page looks like. And this is where people can click on where they want to listen to it. So they can do it on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or they can copy this RSS feed, which is like throwing it into their own page. Nobody is ever going to do that, I'm sure. But Spotify gets quite a lot of traffic. And then for whatever reason, Google Podcasts gets quite a bit of traffic. So like I said, we're on episode 19. I've shot like up to episode 55. I'll show you really fast if you guys want to see. I'll bring it over here just a second. Whoops. Never mind, you can't see that. Anyway, it's up to episode 53. Sorry. So we're up to episode 53. That means we're probably going to have content go out until like December before I have to remake more or really sit down and hammer out a lot of episodes. Hopefully by then I have a good feel on how I want to structure some of the invites for people outside of our industry. I've done a lot of interviews like that, or not a lot, but some, and they've been really well received. So you can kind of see, though, we have 182 plays on the podcast just in general. This does not include YouTube. So when we get to YouTube, I'll show you some analytics on there. But the thing that I want to really point out is that we've had 19 episodes. So we're getting about 10 views an episode, or 9 views an episode. So what I'm really trying to do is we have 26 staff members. We should have 26 views easy on every podcast without trying that hard. And so we're not doing a great job of getting our people on board excited enough to even click on it one time. So I'm really trying to push forward a campaign or an idea to the rest of our staff that is going to make it so they feel compelled to put it out there on their network. And honestly, that's so that their authority goes up as well, right? If we can get some of our newer agents to talk about us more, Google will see them as a new kind of authority on Utah real estate with us, right? So they really get to piggyback. So it's a win-win for everybody, but right now we're not doing a really good job of doing that. So for the people in this room, if you're not following the podcast on some type of platform, I really highly recommend following it, and when you see a new episode, share it to your platform at least 1 or 2 times that week, because every Monday a new podcast comes out, and when we get more traffic to each one of those episodes, then we'll start to really see our company grow and take off. And honestly, through social media, through our presence, is going to be the best bang for the buck.
Yep, I hear it. Just subscribe, by the way.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Real quick, last week I did episode 18.5, which was a shoved through the throat of Taylor Green Media Group. I said, hey, scrap whatever you were planning on launching this week, and I did a market update. So if you want to see Utah real estate and like graphs and everything to the letter, that is the one that you want to watch. And then if you have friends or family that are interested in the fear and everything that's happening in the market right now, that one is really, really powerful. So anyway, that's a plug for the podcast. So any questions about the podcast or where we're going with that?
I like it, man. How long did it take you to record all, you said 56 or so?
I don't know. It took a few weeks of me really hammering it down on what I wanted, and then I just started shooting it and was like, I started getting more and more comfortable. And then there were times I would sit down and shoot 8 episodes without scripts, without anything, just sit down and this is my idea and I would just boom shoot the entire episode. And some of them don't even have that many edits, right? Like the Taylor Green Media Group edits it before it's launched, but some of them they're not even that edited, you know. So it's pretty fun.
Excellent.
I'll show you really fast the script page. So I just have like the episodes kind of numbered down, of course, and the very first episode had a legit script. And after I watched episode 1 and listened to it, I was like, that sounded horrible. I sound terrible when I'm reading something. So you can see episode 2, I just put business builder. Episode 3, founder story. That's me and my mom off the cuff. No script, no nothing. Just shooting the breeze, you know. So we do have a ton of episodes, like I said. Brandon, one that's kind of really interesting is episode 18. Let's see. Yeah, we have till episode 53. But so on episode 18 is called The Velocity of Money. That one is not Utah specific. This one is like, hey, if you want to buy rental properties, and so like your sphere, you have already done some of that. And so you could really help teach people this velocity of money, you know, the idea and the concept behind it. And this kind of puts all the words that you would ever want to say. And then you could piggyback on all that. So that one's a really good one.
I like it.
Okay. Like I said, podcast is going really, really awesome. I want to grow it like crazy. Let's see. Whoops. Wrong button.
If
Okay.
there's ever a point where you need help generating content or ideas for crosstalks like you do with Carrie, I'd definitely be down, especially if things work out in our favor for this deal and we can actually close on it. Then that's going to be a lesson learned podcast kind of thing that we can push out.
Right. I really feel like it's going to be a lesson learned podcast on either side of that.
Also a fair point. Yes.
Yeah, very true. And for sure, I want to get you on there. I've tried to invite everybody that's on our staff to say, if you want to get a seat at the table, come on the podcast and come and hang out. Tell me your story, and then we'll pump it out there because they make it look so good. Like the editing is green screened. I mean, it's impressive. So like what we're paying, you know, like I already said, we're kind of overpaying a little bit for what we're getting, but it's amazing. And when more people see it, we're going to start being like an industry leader on so many fronts. So it's going to be sweet.
I like it.
All right, let's switch to the new training portal. So we are building a new training portal. This is what it looks like, sort of, currently. There will be a move of some of the videos. So right now, as the company, we're building this training portal. We've always had great training, but now we're going to make it look sexy instead of be on the Excel spreadsheet or the Google Sheets. So right now on Sheets, it doesn't look that good. It's super hard to operate. It's very cumbersome. It just has a lot of problems, but that's what we kind of built it on first because it was free. Now that we have this access to Taylor Green Media Group and that CRM, this entire training portal is built on that CRM. So it's all based on ClickFunneling. So if you've ever like bought a web course or anything like that, this is the exact same process. Eventually, this will be 5 free videos, and those 5 free videos talk about who we are as as a real estate company, what we do as a real estate company, why people should want the training that we provide, what that training kind of entails, and then like business partner opportunities a little bit kind of touched on, and then why they should spend $297 for this training platform or whatever we charge. I don't know what we're going to charge yet, but it's probably right around there. And to really entice them to use the ClickFunnels to buy our training. So people in our staff will get the training for free. People outside our staff will pay $297. And if they get to the end of the training after paying $297, there's going to be a call to action almost after every like 5th video or something that says something to the effect, if they're a Utah licensed realtor and they're in this training program and they want a reimbursement for their training and they want to hang their license with us, then they'll change companies, right, and shift their license to us. and we'll sign a contract with them so that they'll sell real estate here, and then we'll kick back a reimbursement for their training. So we're going to use that for revenue, training for our staff, training for outside people as revenue, of course, and then also a recruiting tool. So this portal is going to be robust, crazy. Right now it's not completely loaded with all the content. And then each video will have a homework assignment item with that'll be kind of a Google form that'll kind of all dictate what they learned and things like that, so that they can actually achieve the learning that I want people to achieve. So we've been working hard like crazy to get through that. Eventually, if Zach was here, Zach is going to become the first broker that is not underneath Fitness Realty Corporation, or the main corporation. So he's going to start Fitness Realty North, or whatever he decides to call it. It might be called Fitness Realty Davis County or something. I don't know. Whatever it's called, he's going to start branching off from there, building his own team, and his team will get access codes to this training so that we can make sure that they get trained properly as well. But in addition to that, Zach is going to help go through all of the training videos themselves, pick out and critique each video so that we can all rate them. Like 5 being magical gold, like watch this and you'll learn something that makes you money in real estate, and then on down below to where it's like, this is just gee whiz information, and we could do a quick video that's 10 of those really fast, so we can really start condensing things. And if we find one that it's like liquid gold, we'll try to hone in and critique and make a training video that really dives into that principle, whatever that might be. So right now we have a lot to do to get through the portal itself, to make sure each homework assignment matches what the video content is. Number 2, some of the video content I've got to remake because it's a little old. And then some of the video content for the first 5 videos that are going to be for free, I've got to remake some of that. The very first one I want to be like a 59-second get in, get out. If you liked it, great. You'll watch the next video for 3 minutes. If you like that one, then great. Here's, like a whole synopsis of the company. But it makes it so that people really either get enticed in, or they realize that they're not in real estate and they just leave the page anyways, and they don't waste their time. Any questions about that? I know I just word vomited hard.
Awesome stuff, man. I like it.
Thank you.
And big news about Zach. That's excellent.
Yeah, huge news. While I was in Goldman Sachs in the course, right after one of the days, I was like, okay, I need to take action. So I wrote Zach and said, hey, if you want to open that north area up there as a broker, it's yours. If not, let me know, and I'm going to put up a job posting out to find a broker up there so we can attack Hill Air Force Base and stuff.
Yep.
I shouldn't say attack if the NSA is listening. Sorry. Just kidding. Anyway, so I wanted you guys to see the portal. I wanted you to see like what I've been working on, what I've been cranked out on. So if you're ever thinking like, oh man, TJ's just golfing all the time, when I'm not golfing, like I'm thinking about this 24/7. Okay. Thank you. All right, let's see. Up next, growth. So let's talk about Goldman Sachs class really quick. I did graduate, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody here. This is the growth plan that was built out of that class. And so the growth plan was all about expanding into new markets. It's all about recruiting and things like that. We did tons of like studies, tons of like data. What I want to get down to really fast though is let's see. Oh, really fast, our competitive mapping. It's pretty expensive to open a Keller Williams branch. So one day when we actually have really good, strong presence out there and people are really asking us to like open up a branch, then we can kind of tailor what that looks like for the upfront capital into the corporation, kind of dictated from Keller Williams. Since our company kind of is more traditional towards a business model like that, not a low cost equity program. And then it's obviously not the EXP plan at all. So anyway, we can kind of tailor it off of that. I really have some numbers baked in that I think that'll fit. But right now we would need somebody that's like, hey, I want to open a brokerage firm. And right now I have to ask everybody if they want to do that. We got our financial forecasting. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here, this is what I wanted to talk about. So it's all about the people. There's 4 categories of people that we're looking for currently. And then to expand on that, we'll expand with brokers. But the first area is people that are graduating from Stringham. So I'm going to be really harping on that and really hounding them down and saying, hey, like, why are you not picking us? You could make more money here. The commission's better. 20% of our staff makes over the federal minimum wage, which is 10 times higher than what the average is for Utah licensed real estate agents as a whole, which is crazy. We did a stat, and this is probably going to be in the 59-second pitch, but 97.5% of all licensed agents in Utah would be better off working at Home Depot. So the career field's hard, and it just goes to continue to show that we're at 20%, so we're 10 times bigger than that stat. So anyway, we're going to be looking for the Stringham graduates. We're going to be looking at realtors that are at companies that don't feel valued. So we're going to start really incentivizing them to come over here. Like, hey, why are you over there at Keller Williams? They're running a cap on your life and whatever. So I'm going to start having ads that are out there really targeted in realtors that want to leave their current company and come to us, which those would be awesome because they hopefully have a basic knowledge and I don't have to start with ground zero. And then the third area is somebody who lets their license lapse or they don't want to pay their board dues. I'm going to start targeting them really hard because another revenue stream for the company will be 39% on all of the money that we're spending to hire people. So that looks like this. Let's say we find somebody that wants me to pay their board dues. In the past, it was me, my personal side, taking that on. And it's really kind of cumbersome to do that, right? If it's the business, now we can have revenue that's off of their money or that money that's spent out there. Granted, I never want to truly make money on what we spend for them to get hired on and get started. We're looking for them to start, feel comfortable, and close a deal because we make 15 times the ROI on what it would cost to bring somebody on board. So typically, a first person or a new person closing their first deal, the company makes like $3,000 to $4,000. So if I can have 10 people do that every month, I mean the company will just explode. That's a lofty goal, of course, but you get the point. New people make a lot of money, so if we can have more new recruits, then the company will just churn out, and those new recruits will talk about us everywhere. Okay. Last group is agents, or not even agents. Last group is people that just want to do more. So if they feel bored or they have ADHD like me probably, and they want to just do something exciting all the time, that's the target that we'll be going after. And then through all 4 of those targets, the main focus is to take those people and take what they learn and find the people that kind of emerge that look like they're going to become brokers. That's the way to grow it inside of Utah because we'll be able to see those people kind of emerge. The way that we're going to grow outside of Utah and what I'm going to start putting out job postings for will be people that are already real estate agents or brokers that want to become, real estate agents that want to become brokers or current brokers that hate their current business model and they see some value with us and they would transfer and start running a fitness realty brand, let's say in Texas, Virginia, or Florida, or whatever. Really fast before we leave the growth plan. This growth plan is literally built so that I can say, hey, broker that's in San Antonio or something. We literally have all of the things for you to go turnkey. We have training. We have a lot of experience. We know how to get get a brokerage firm up and running. The only key piece that we don't have is every state is different, so we'll have to look at state regs, and typically you have to have somebody there as the head broker, and so we just have to find those people. So I'm going to start hunting for them, of course, so that's on my game plan and my warpath. Okay, really fast so you guys know the next 5 years, and I can give you a copy of this for everybody. I probably want to tweak it just a little bit more because I finished the course, and then after you like just veg out for a little while and your brain stops cooking and melting from all their curriculum, then you start to have all these other ideas about what you would fill in the blanks on your growth plan. Anyway, so we're going to be operating on two fronts: the sales side, where we help buyers and sellers achieve their potential, and then obviously the asset acquisition side. And I apologize, we're going to run over the hour, but we're going to wrap up here quickly, so just bear with me. So we do have the asset acquisition side. We're going to pump that out as well. But honestly, the kind of third front that I didn't put in here is the growing outside of Utah with new brokers, new teams, new branding, right? And I could literally show somebody how to open a Fitness Realty brand, start a Google Ads page, and literally crank new leads like in a week. So it's just not that hard. And I feel really confident that the first time somebody takes the step out with us, they'll probably do $0 in to buy into the company. You know, that's fine. I want to like try it out, but they'll have a deal counter that they'll be tied to. So anyway, so first sales side, grow our sales agents to over 120 in the next 5 years. So this is probably a little high, but I want to try to hire 1 to 2 new realtors every month for the main Salt Lake, or not even Salt Lake, but the main brokerage that I'm running. And so once Zach breaks off and does Fitness Realty North or whatever, he's going to take over Weber and Davis County. He's going to also take over the marketing for Weber and Davis County, which is going to take the marketing that we're doing as the corporation side away from that, so I can turn those counties off so that those people go directly to him. So that makes that marketing for us stronger for all the other counties in Utah, because none of our money has to go in there. So we'll be able to start recruiting even heavier for areas that are not Weber and Davis County. I'm going to be searching for a broker that's in St. George to launch the St. George window. We just haven't been able to really get a foothold down there, and it's because I'm just not down there enough. And location and distance is seriously a factor. I didn't realize it was going to be that big of a factor, but it definitely is. If we had some really strong go-getters down there, it might be different. But right now, I think we need to have more of a presence, a broker presence. And so I'm going to be searching for somebody that's taking the broker course. And I'm going to literally say, I'm going to give you all the keys to success. Just come with us, and we'll like run it and make it happen. Let's see. We do have Missouri single family, right? This is the asset acquisition side, touching on the North Carolina properties. Okay. Whew. Now, North Carolina plan is basically over. Brandon and I and my mom, I hopefully maybe we'll figure something out and we'll get to pull the trigger and go through with that. Where it's standing right now, I'm not really sure if I feel confident that it will do that, but that's neither here nor there. The thing that I wanted to touch on with that is that if we do back out or it completely gets scrapped, we do have somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 of exposure on that. So the cash account's going to go down, whatever that is. If it's more than that, whatever, we'll figure it out. If it's less than that, that's just gravy. It will be a good learning experience on both sides, like Brandon already hit on that. We're learning a ton, and so you're always in a paying for your education. This is one of those times it just feels a little more expensive, but you would have paid more than that to go to school. So, I feel like we're doing good. Okay, New Horizons. This is what I want to talk about. Dustin, this is something that he brought up to me, is there's a great network that's down in St. George that is a lot of short-term rentals. So I think that if we do completely back out of the North Carolina property, there's great avenues we could go down in St. George for short-term rentals. in Florida or Tampa area or St. Augustine, which is where my mom wants to go. Anywhere that has the best raw numbers, I think, is the next course for us. St. George would be great because it's close and we could keep an eye on it. And so there's a lot of avenues that I think will come to play, but we need to be pulling the trigger before the end of the year to deploy that capital. And so there's a ton of stuff that we need to jump through the hoops for, but it all relies on if North Carolina goes through, then obviously we don't need to do that. If it does not, then we have to start looking for the next deal and get the capital working, because right now we're sitting on like 140,000 doing squat. I like to have cash reserves, but not that much. I mean, our overhead is extremely low. We just don't need that 140 grand sitting and doing nothing. All right. So those are the new horizons. The update on the Lydia address, it needs some foundation work. I think I sent that out on the business partner page. So Brandon, if you're ever wondering if we're typing things, it's on the business partner chat, like on Google Chats. So sometimes I post stuff there, and sometimes I just post it on Facebook. So I'll try to just post it in one place, but I'll try to do better. Anyway, Nathan at Bridge is trying to help us with that. I need to follow up with him on an email. They have not gotten back to me yet. It wasn't an issue that was like a livability issue. It was we need to get this done sometime in the next 30 days. So it's not a huge deal, but it's probably going to cost us $6,000 to $7,000. So that's probably going to eat 8 months worth of cash flow from that property, which is, it's like good and bad, right? Because right now Fitness Realty is very cash heavy all the time. We make a crap ton of money in cash, so having some extra write-offs, not terrible. It just sucks that it's with that property. So anyway, it's one of those. It's not horrible. It just eats some of the cash. So our cash account will go down, obviously, minimizing what we have to send out, but we'll still be looking good. And then, like I said, the growth plan, looking into new markets with new brokers. I'm going to be hunting for that, and I'm going to make probably in the next week job postings that are in Texas, Florida, and Virginia, and then St. George for sure. And then most likely there will be like a South Utah area that's like Spanish Fork and south of that. And so we're going to try to network down there. And then another one that I want to do is east of the Wasatch Mountains. So it'll be like Heber, Park City, stuff like that. Okay. One more note that I didn't write in here because it just happened today while I was at lunch. There's a lender that has a program here. I guess lots of lenders have it. That's all the DSCR stuff. But I was telling him that if we fall through on North Carolina, we may be able to do a deal in St. George for about $1 million with our same kind of capital and have no partners and do short-term rentals, which the cash flow might be two to three times what normal revenue would be from long-term rentals. So, and then while we're doing that, if we need more capital, there is a good chance that the numbers would still cash flow up to 70% of our LTV with Lydia Avenue. So we could get a grip of capital from there and still be cash flow positive in that property. So there's a lot of pieces to juggle, and that's why I'm just trying to get it all out there to everyone so you guys can like noodle it for a while, think about it, and make sure that we're all kind of on the same page.
Quick note on that, actually.
Okay.
I definitely send me as much info on you said it was in St. George or in Park City?
St. George.
Send me the info because I know that Evolve, the property management company that is currently doing the North Carolina cabins, is also out in Utah. I've used them through Utah for places out in Moab and Arches and stuff like that.
Nice.
And going back to this being a learning experience, now knowing how honestly pretty good Evolve is and the benefits they offer to the owners, that could be a really good step toward doing short-term rentals down in St. George.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Does Evolve have sales side? So like if they have their own listings, because that would be
I
great.
I think so actually. I
Okay, if
do
they
I
do,
believe so.
let's look at that really aggressively because honestly, what I would love is to find the piece of property. Let's say it's Evolve. They're like through their direct site. Just close on it, and we have access now to SBA funding. Plus, with our growth plan, we can go to any bank, and we're going to look awesome because our growth plan looks phenomenal. It's like raw data, everything. Um, anyway, we can use that capital and those loan vehicles and just close and turn it over to Evolve and just sit back, right? Like
Yep.
that's the goal that I want. Plus, with the company side, it's easier if it's outside management, kind of like how we have the Lydia Avenue currently with Scudo. Um, if the property wasn't kind of needing stuff all the time, it would be way better. But Scudo's doing a great job of managing the property for us, so there's nothing to complain about there other than that property needs stuff all the time.
I hear you.
Yeah, so let's do that. Like, if and just this is all for you, Brandon. Like, seriously, thank you so much for all the work that you've done with Ela Shores. But if it like goes to crap and we just pull out of it, um, you know, we will all have learned a lot, but mostly you. So I really appreciate having you here with your expertise. So moving forward with that, let's say it falls through. If we go to the Evolve, you just point the direction and we'll say, all right, that's the one we want to do. We'll start getting the financing together. And I like that idea a lot just because it'll be underneath Fitness Realty Corporation. And we won't have to marry everybody else's problems and situations and finances and underwriting rules, and it'll be a lot easier.
I hear you.
All right. Any last questions, comments about anything? Oh, wait. Before we wrap up on that, let me show you the YouTube channel. So last month, people watched 17 hours of our videos. So not terrible. We do get a lot of spikes. Typically, right after an episode's launched, we get a lot of spikes. And then a lot of these are people watching the training videos as well. And this count will still be counted through the portal because the training portal just piggybacks our YouTube channel. So, like, we'll always have the content at our fingertips and we'll always have the analytics at our fingertips. So, it's really, really awesome. Anyway, this is what the YouTube channel side looks like. Let's see. That's just Spotify. We don't need that. Okay, now, any questions or comments about anything I've talked about? Awesome. I really appreciate everybody being here. Even though it's always the same group, one day we'll have new blood that wants to kind of get involved. And most likely it'll be those brokers that I'm hunting for. And honestly, those brokers that are going to take the ride with us, the first 3 or 4 are probably going to get everything for free. The thing that they'll pay is 9% for royalty. So if their branch brokerage does 100 grand, the main corporation makes 9,000. If they do 10,000, then we make $900. So we really want to make sure that they excel and make money, right? Like it needs to be a win-win for everybody. But anyway, after we start really having that presence is when I think we can charge people to come on board, and there will be a investment fee, and they'll have to invest 30 or 40 grand or go to the SBA and get a loan for 40 or 50 or whatever. But right now we don't have the presence or the clout to kind of do that. So, but we will. Yeah. So real last thought. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate all your time. I apologize for running over the hour. I try to always keep it under an hour, but there was so much to get through, and I wanted to get through everything so you could just have it in your nuggets. And then also, I'm always recording this, so the recording will be on the real share price calculator. If you don't have access to that or you lost the link or whatever, you can let me know. Text me, call me, or whatever, and I'll send you the link. But I just love you guys. I love the journey we're on, and I love being a part of Fitness Realty. I love being around the people that are interested in helping us grow. And then it's just a fun time. It's a fun time to see people actually see the logo and know who we are. Or they see the logo and know that I spend a lot of time at Topgolf or whatever. I just find it to be fun that people are actually getting on board. And our presence is actually getting pretty impressive in Utah. And there's a lot less times that I call and somebody's like, "Oh, I've never heard of you before." That it just doesn't happen very often now, which is really exciting. So anyway, just want to say thanks one more time. I love you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good, TJ.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
man.
TJ.
Thanks. All right, we'll see you.
Bye.